Hello dear students, I am going to deal with fundamentals of organic chemistry in this lecture. We study different chemical reactions in organic chemistry. In any chemical reaction, reactants are converted into products. Thus, old chemical bonds are broken and new chemical bonds are formed. The reactants are converted into products by certain reaction mechanism. To understand chemical reactions and reaction mechanism, we have to study some basic concepts in organic chemistry. So in this lecture, we will study some basic concepts and important terms in organic chemistry. So this is the contents that we are going to study in this particular lecture. So first we will see the curved arrow notations. So curved arrow notations can be of two types. One is double-headed curved arrow and another is half-headed curved arrow. Then the next point is bond fusion or bond cleavage. It can be of also two types. One is homolytic bond fusion, or it is also called as homolysis. Second is heterolytic bond fusion, or it is also known as heterolysis. And the third one, and that is the last, reagents. Reagents can be of two types. One is called as electrophile and another is the nucleophile. So we will see details in the further slides. So this is the slide where we are going to study double-headed curved arrow. So this double-headed curved arrow is very important to show the electron transfer. So you can see here this is the double-headed arrow. So this is the head of the arrow. You can see here this is the tail of the arrow. Now there is a significance for tail as well as head of this double-headed curved arrow. So the tail indicates here the electron pair source, whereas the head indicates the electron pair destination. So it suggests that the electrons are transferred from this position to this position. So it shows the transfer of electron. It shows the flow of electron or transfer of electron from one destination to the another destination. So that is the significance of double-headed curved arrow. Now you can see here one example. The hydrogen molecule is there. So two hydrogen atoms, they are bound by the bond, chemical bond. This chemical bond possesses two electrons. So one electron pair is there. Now this bond is broken and we have shown it by this double-headed curved arrow. So this is the double-headed curved arrow. So what it indicates? It indicates the transfer of electron from this position to this position. And therefore, we can see here the bond is broken and we get two different species. One is H plus and another is H minus. These are the two different species formed after the cleavage or fusion of bond. So thus we get here H plus because the one electron is transferred to this hydrogen, therefore it is H plus, and one electron is extra here, therefore it is H minus. So the electron is gained here, we can see here. So in this picture also you can see the two hydrogen nuclei are there and you can see the electron pair. Now this one electron of this hydrogen nuclei, it is transferred to this hydrogen and therefore you can see this is the hydrogen atom or nuclei and you can see the two electrons are present over here and one electron is lost from this hydrogen, therefore it is H plus and this one is H minus because of the extra electron. So that is the significance of double-headed curved arrow. Then we will see half-headed curved arrow. Now this half-headed curved arrow you can see in this picture. So the head is here half, only half, therefore it is called as half-headed curved arrow. It looks like the barbed fish hook. It looks like the barbed fish hook. But the significance, if you see here, the tail, that is the same significance. It indicates the electron source, and here destination indicates the single electron destination. Means here only one electron is transferred. So whenever there is a half-headed curved arrow, it indicates that the only one or single electron is transferred from one position to the another position. So here this is the one position where the electron is transferred to this position. So remember this. Okay. Now we have seen here example of the same molecule, that is the hydrogen molecule. Now you can see the two arrows are there, two half-headed curved arrows are there. So this half-headed curved arrow indicates the single electron transfer, and this half-headed curved arrow indicates again the single electron transfer. So we know this is the chemical bond and there are two electrons. So each electron get transferred to this hydrogen as well as to this hydrogen. So here you can see the hydrogen atoms with single electrons. So they are neutral, they are not charged species, they are neutral. And whenever the species having the odd electron in their orbitals, we call them as a free radicals. So these hydrogens are called as hydrogen radicals because they have only single unpaired electron. In this picture you will better understand it. So two hydrogen atoms, single electrons are there in the chemical bond. Now each electron of this bond pair get retained by the single or individual hydrogen atoms. So this electron is retained by this hydrogen and this electron is retained by this hydrogen, and therefore there is a single electron in the hydrogen. That's why they are called as free radicals. They are neutral in nature. They are not having charge. So this is the significance. Whenever there is a half-headed curved arrow, then you must remember that there is only single electron transfer from the bond. Okay, so that is how we can understand the double-headed curved arrow and half-headed curved arrow. These curved arrows are very important in understanding the reaction mechanism. We can easily understand making and breaking of the bond with the help of these half-headed and double-headed curved arrow. Okay, now this is the another slide where we will see homolytic bond fission or homolytic bond cleavage. So first we will see the definition. The symmetric or even breaking of bond in which electrons are retained equally to form free radicals is called as homolytic fission. Now with this example we will better understand it. So suppose there are two elements and the bond is present. The two electrons are there of this bond. The bond is broken in homolytic way. So you can see here the half-headed curved arrow. So in this breaking of bond, the electrons are retained equally, and what we get here free radicals which are neutral in nature. So whenever there is a formation of free radicals, then we can say there must be the homolytic bond fission or homolytic bond cleavage. So this breaking of bond is symmetrical or even, means each electron of the bond pair get transferred over to the that is the elements which are involved in the bond. So here two electrons are there and one electron is retained by this A and another electron is retained by this B, and therefore we can call it as a symmetrical or even breaking of bond. Coming to the next point, that is the heterolytic bond fission or heterolytic bond cleavage. It is opposite to the homolytic bond fission. So this is the unsymmetric or uneven breaking of bond to form a pair of oppositely charged ions is called as heterolytic fission. Now suppose there is a bond between A and B. Two electrons are present in this chemical bond. Now the bond is broken in heterolytic way, means here this electron pair is fully shifted towards the B, and that's why after the breaking of bond we get two different species. They are oppositely charged species, means A plus and this one is B minus. In another example, suppose AB is there, two electrons are there, but the arrow now here indicates that the electron pair is shifted towards the A. So direction of the arrow suggests that the electron pair is shifted towards the A, and that's why there will be A minus charge and B plus charge, because the electron is lost from the B and it is going towards the A. That's why we are getting here A minus and B plus. So this direction of the arrow is very important. It suggests the transfer of electron. So here the electron is transferred over B. In this example, electrons are transferred over A, and that's why we are getting here different types of oppositely charged species. So generally what happens whenever there is a chemical bond, the electronegative atom or element has tendency to attract the electron pair, and therefore suppose if Cl is there, Br is there, F is there, or oxygen is there, they are electronegative elements, and therefore they attract the electron pair towards themselves, and in this case they will possess negative charge, whereas the less electronegative atom or element, it will possess the positive charge. In this slide we will see the animations of homolytic and heterolytic fission. So this is the example HCl. Between the hydrogen atom and chlorine, electron pair is present. Now this bond, chemical bond between the hydrogen and chlorine atom, is broken by heterolytic fission, and after the heterolytic fission we will get two different species. So let's see what happens after the heterolytic fission. So you can see here electron pair is transferred over Cl, as it is most electronegative atom than the hydrogen. So hydrogen gets positive charge and chlorine gets negative charge. So this whole electron pair is transferred towards the chlorine. So this double-headed curve arrow indicates this electron pair is totally shifted over the chlorine by heterolytic fission, and we get two oppositely charged species, that is hydrogen plus and chlorine minus. Now if you see the homolytic fission, we have taken here example of chlorine molecule. Two chlorine atoms are bound by the chemical bond. The electron pair is shared between these two atoms. Now there is homolytic fission, means each electron of this bond, chemical bond, get retained by the each chlorine atom, and thus we get here free radicals. So let's see how it actually takes place. So these two electrons retained by these two chlorine atoms, and thus the neutral free radicals are formed by the homolytic fission. So this homolytic fission is given by the half-headed curved arrow. So this is another point, reagent. So first we will see the definition. A reagent is a chemical species that attacks the substrate in a chemical reaction to form a product. Depending on the site of attack on the substrate, there are two types of reagents. One is called as nucleophiles, that is nucleophilic reagents, and another is the electrophiles, that is electrophilic reagents. Now we will see one by one. The first is the electrophile. So phile means here loving. So they are electron loving. Electrophiles are electron loving species. If you see the definition, an electron deficient species which attacks an area of high electron density or negative center in the substrate is called as electrophile. So they attack on the area of high electron density because they want electrons as they are electron loving, so they will naturally attack on the high electron density or negative center, that is the anion. Okay, if there is a negative charge on the atom, they will certainly attack on the negatively charged, that is a element or atom. So they, in this way, they can act as a Lewis acid. Lewis acid means what? Electron acceptors. So electron acceptors are called as Lewis acid. So Lewis acid are also examples of electrophile. There are two types of electrophiles. One is called as positive or cationic electrophiles, and the second is the neutral electrophiles. So positive or cationic electrophiles denoted by E plus, so positive charge is there. So any positively charged ionic species which can accept electron pair is the positive or cationic electrophiles. So there are some examples you can see: H plus, Br plus, Cl plus, NO2 plus, R33 plus, NO plus. So all these are the positively charged species, and this positively charged species can attack on the negatively charged species, say OH minus. Now OH minus and this E plus, they can form the bond, so that is OHE. Okay, so the electron pair is transferred from OH minus to the E plus. So this is the significance of this double-headed arrow. The electrons are transferred from OH minus to the E plus. Then second example is neutral electrophile. So any neutral molecule whose central atom having incomplete octet, they are called as neutral electrophile. So denoted by letter capital E. So these are the examples: BF3, AlCl3, ZnCl2, FeCl3. They are neutral in nature, but they are all Lewis acids, remember. So these are the examples of Lewis acid. They will accept the electron pair. Therefore, they are also called as electrophiles, neutral electrophiles. Now suppose the one example here, Ca3 minus, the electrophile is there. So this electron pair from this Ca3 minus is transferred over to the this neutral electrophile, and they will form the here bond. But this will become now the negatively charged species. So there will be negative charge on the electrophile. So it will form here CF3E minus. The last one is here nucleophile. So if you see the definition, an electron rich species which attacks an area of low electron density or positive center in the substrate is called as nucleophile. So from the name nucleophile, phile means here loving, so they are nucleus loving. We know that there is a positive charge on the nucleus, and therefore they are attracted towards the positive charge. That's why the name is given nucleophile. So as they are attracted towards uh, positive charge, so they must be electron rich. They must be electron rich, and they are attracted towards the positive center. Okay, so nucleophiles can be of also two types. One is negative or anionic nucleophiles, and second one is neutral nucleophiles. So negative or anionic nucleophiles denoted by Nu minus. So they are any negatively charged ionic species. So any negatively charged ionic species can be called as negative or anionic nucleophile. So OH minus, Cn minus, Cl minus, RO minus, NH2 minus, RCO minus, etc. These are the examples. Now you can see here, this arrow indicates the electrons are transferred from the nucleophile to the CH3 minus. In this way they form the bond here, CH3NU. The bond is formed between CH3 and Nu. Then again there are neutral nucleophiles. So any neutral molecule having a lone pair of electron on its central atom is called as neutral nucleophiles. So there are examples: H2O. So on oxygen there is a two lone pairs. I haven't shown here, but there is a two lone pair. So in this ROH you can see lone pair of electron, two lone pair of electron. RNH2, one lone pair of electron present on nitrogen. RSH, there is thiol, lone pair of electron are present on the sulfur, ammonia, one electron pair present on the nitrogen. So they are thus electron rich species, but they are neutral in nature. Suppose CH3 plus and NU, which is neutral here. The lone pair of electron is transferred from NU to the CH3 plus, and you can get this type of product where the Nu, that is nucleophile, will get positive charge. So these are basic concepts of the that is a heterolytic fission or homolytic bond fission, nucleophile, electrophiles. They are very important in the chemical reactions.